Okay, out of all my 50 sketches, I'm going to choose to develop the drawing of the razor blade because I'm currently building up the makerspace, and I'm really finding that if every tool in the makerspace has a proper place, then the tools find their way home more often than not. So back in Photoshop, you're going to want to find the layer that you want, and I'm going to do that by turning off the visibility eyeball on all the layers except for that blade. And I'm going to shift select all those other layers and delete them, leaving me with just the layer of the blade and a background layer. Then I'm going to click Image Canvas Size because I want more pixels so that I can do my drawing. I'm going to set 4096 by 4096 pixels as my canvas size. Then, with my blade layer selected, I'm going to hit Command T so that I can transform it to be bigger, holding down the Shift key so that it scales up uniformly, and so that I can reposition it up at the top of my canvas. Then I'm going to choose the Brush tool and set the brush up here to be the hard, round, pressure size brush. This will give me nice black pixels, and the size of the brush will get bigger when I push harder at the stylus. What's the stylus? Well, it's part of this awesome gigantic pressure-sensitive drawing tablet. So flop your laptop down nearby and plug in the HDMI cable and the USB cable, and use an adapter if you need to. And then Google search Wacom drivers and pick the one that fits your laptop, Mac or PC. Get the driver installed and set up your computer so that it is mirroring its desktop to the Wacom screen. You should see the same image on your laptop screen and the Wacom screen. And when you pick up the stylus and bring it near the screen, you should see that it controls the cursor. And if you touch the screen, it should perform the left click action. And if you push on this half of the rocker switch, you should perform the right click option, which usually pulls up a context menu. And if you're new to all of this second monitor, tablet stuff, I'm going to post 3 links in the description below for Wacom's own installation and how to mirror on a Mac and a PC. All right, now that you're all set up, you should be able to use the hard, round, pressure size brush to draw such that the amount of pressure you push with controls the size of the brush. But with a teeny tiny brush, this can be hard to see. So hit the right square bracket key a bunch of times to make your brush huge. Now, as you push harder, you should see clearly the brush get bigger and smaller as you push lighter. We want that variability so that there is a little bit of play in your work still. A little bit of wiggling and a little bit of brush size change can add life to your work and can give you ideas about the final iteration of your design. We can always clean it up if cleanliness is what you want, and we can always make it symmetrical if that is desired at the end of the process. The important bit is that you develop this idea, and at this moment the idea is nothing more than something that looks a bit like the letter D and something that looks a bit like a razor blade. Do that 5 times. Play with variations within those constraints. When I gave myself the luxury of playing 5 times with variations, I was most drawn to these 2. One of them looks more like a D and less like a razor blade, and the other looks totally like a razor blade and less like a D. I'm going to move forward with this one. It feels like fun to me, so I'm going to copy it down here and make some last little tidying up edits. And then for the last step in Photoshop, I'm going to draw a rectangular box around my design and Command C to copy it. And then I'm going to go File, New, and notice how, because I just copied it, I have a clipboard of the exact right size. If I make a new file, I am positioned to Command V, paste that document right in there. And then Image Canvas Size, I'm going to make it square. I'm pretty close to 1600, so let's just do 1600 by 1600. Your numbers might be different. The squareness is all that matters. Then just save this file as developed hand-drawn logo, and you will be ready to make the vector version of it. And that's coming up next.